Hey there folks, and welcome back to the Gamer's Grotto. Today we're going to be playing some more of L.A. Noire. This is the PlayStation 4 version. We're going to be playing it on the PlayStation 5. We've just started on the Arson desk, so we're going to start with 3 cases today. The Gas Man, A Walk in Elysian Fields, and House of Sticks. So we're going to start that up right now. Let's continue from where we last left off yesterday with more of L.A. Noire.
Okay, everyone, keep it down. Cole Phelps joins the arson squad today.
How'd you like porking that German whore, Phelps?
Phelps is up before a review board in December. Until then, he works the arson desk. End of story. Phelps.
Yes, sir.
I don't care what you did or didn't do, Phelps. I hear you're a good case man. But if you fuck up on my detail, I'll have you out of here before your feet touch the ground. Do we have an understanding?
Yes, sir. Cap, we don't want a fucking rat like Phelps.
Can it, Tilden? Phelps, I'm partnering you with Herschel Biggs.
I don't do partners. You know that, Cap.
You do now, Biggs. Social basket cases like you two should get along just fine. Biggs will show you the ropes, Phelps.
This is arson. There are no ropes.
It shouldn't take long, then. Start with these two. House fires. 326 South Kenmore Avenue. Steffen's family was out of town when it happened. Then go to 4414 Rosewood, family by the name of Sawyer. Fire brigade will be on location.
Are they suspicious, Captain?
That's for you to find out, Detective. Now get out of here. Both of you. Get out!
Parker or Green? I don't know who'd be worse.
I didn't come to California to be a secretary.
I don't know it.
I was walking down the street.
Officer needs help, 103 and B.
How long have you been working arson?
We gonna do the small talk thing now? Talk baseball, exchange addresses? I don't think so. Feeling down, hotshot? Need a buddy? We'll look somewhere else.
So this is how it's going to be, partner?
I already told you, I don't do partners. I seen you on your first day, hero, walking into the station with your chest puffed out like a little kid at his confirmation. You wouldn't have given me the time of day. And now you need somebody, and that somebody's supposed to be me. Well, it's not gonna happen.
That's quite a speech. I heard you were the strong silent type.
You cracking wise, Phelps?
No, Biggs. I'm breaking the ice.
Just drive, hotshot.
There isn't much left.
There never is if the job's done properly.
You think it was deliberate?
Nah, that's real pain in your face. They would have moved out the things they care about if this was insurance. There's no mileage in this. Hello, Mike.
Hey, Hirsch. Cap this one.
Yeah, Mike Brannigan, Cole Phelps. It's okay, Brannigan. His name may be dog shit, but there's none on his hand.
No offense, Phelps.
None taken. Do you have anything?
The fire started late last night. Steffen's family at Catalina Island. Won some kind of competition. Looks like the only thing they ever won in their lives. And they come home to this.
I'd say they were pretty lucky, really.
They don't have any insurance. Everything they own, including the house, is not a pile of rubble.
Where are they sleeping?
In the car. It's lucky the whole block didn't burn down. Word is they're bulldozing this whole neighborhood to build new homes for GIs. That's the man in the house. In the ruins. Terry lady is his wife.
Well, take a look around. Come on, Phelps.
Mr. Steffens? Cole Phelps and Herschel Biggs, LAPD. I know it's a difficult time, but could we have a word?
Don Steffens.
You were out of town.
We won a prize. We had a wonderful time. Came home to this.
Do you still have the tickets?
Sure.
It's a formality, but we'll need to speak to the issuing agent. Can you tell me any more about the prize that you won, Mr. Steffens?
Weekend at Catalina Island. My wife got this flyer in the mail from the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
Did you enter any kind of competition?
My wife filled in a flyer. Lady just rung up and told us we won. It's the first time I ever won anything.
The redevelopment fund. Did they offer to buy you out?
They're building new houses. They showed their money and most of the neighborhood just packed up and walked away. But I never bargained with them.
GI houses?
Yeah, something like that.
That's all we need for the moment, Mr. Steffens.
All right.
The cop who pointed a gun at me.
Recently serviced. Could be something to go on.
What's with him?
You've seen the papers. I guess he's thinking about his own family. I'd say he's searching for some kind of atonement right now.
Look, I know you're trying to help, but I need to look after my own now.
Phelps, 1247. Detective.
I need information on the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
Yes, Detective. Just checking. The fund is a semi-government agency established to speed up the building of GI homes. It has private investors as well as a government endowment.
Huh. Do you have an address for them?
There is one listed here, corner of Beverly and Mariposa.
Thank you. Have there been any other house fires?
This is Arson. We get an average of 2 a night. Does that answer your question? Hi, Albert. We've got this case.
Hey, Biggs. We? You have a partner? What gives?
This is Cole Phelps. You may have read about him.
Oh, now I get it. Hello, Phelps. Welcome to the netherworld of Arson. Family of 4 found dead in their beds. Heater exploded.
Another one?
Looks that way. Insta-heat Model 70. Before you get excited, we get a couple of water heaters a month go back. Take a look around the yard and see what you can find.
Mal,
You gonna stick it out, Cole?
I'm gonna try, Mal. What have you got?
Family by the name of Sawyer. Mother, father, and 2 kids. All in bed from the looks of it. Oh, I'd say carbon monoxide poisoning. The burns are superficial.
Time of death?
I'd say about midnight. Anything more exact will take some time to determine. Lynch tells me this has something to do with a faulty water heater.
Could be. There's been a spate of problems with a particular brand. I've got another angle in mind.
You care to elucidate, Detective? This is a murder and not an accident. Sharing information has helped us solve quite a few cases together.
I need something concrete, Mal, before the department gets wind of it. I'm in Arson for a reason.
I feel sorry for your wife and kids, Phelps, not for you. But you're a good case man. One of the best I've ever met. I'll help in any way I can.
Thanks, Mal. I'd say that's firm but fair. How about the insurance companies write these incidents up as acts of God? Hey, Biggs! Is this significant?
Regulator valve. Good find.
Detectives? This is the next door neighbor.
Detective Phelps. Can you help?
They were supposed to be going away. They won a trip somewhere. But little Henry got sick, so they had to cancel. What are the chances?
Do you know who ran the competition?
Gulliver's Travel, up on Santa Monica Boulevard.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
Phelps, the guy across the street. I've seen him before. He likes fire.
There he is.
Hurry, you can still catch him.
Stop! LAPD!
See.
We've got an ID on you, Firebug. Stop right there! A family died in that fire. We need to ask some questions.
You lousy piece of shit! How dare you! I got you now, motherfucker! How dare you!
What's your name?
Herbert Chapman.
So you like fires?
Some.
Watching them or setting them?
I don't want any trouble.
Turn out your pockets.
You're a naughty boy, aren't you, Herbert?
I keep myself to myself.
Cigarette in a matchbox gives you a 5 or 6 minute delay. You want more time, you use a mosquito coil. Don't you, Herbert?
You like this fire, Herbert?
Hell no. I heard it over the fire radio. Sounded sweet.
When you finish following your leads, come and see me at the fire station. I have a theory about this.
Will do, Lynch. Take this guy in. We might want him for questioning later.
You got it, Detective.
Why have you got such a hard-on for this case? If it is murder, it's almost impossible to prove. Fire doesn't leave much evidence. There's no percentage in this.
I think it's more than one case.
They're house fires, Cole. Accidents, heater fires, gas explosions.
There's got to be a reason.
The reason is you want to be a star again. Forget it. Give it up. You'll feel better.
There's something to this. I know it.
What are you talking about? Arson is insurance. It's always been insurance.
We still investigate the cases, Biggs. The people in this house are dead.
Go soak your head, Phelps. This hero business is a full-time obsession with you.
I'm gonna make this case. I'm gonna rub the department's nose in it. Help me or stay out of my way. You got it?
I like that sign. That's pretty clever design there. Don't see many travel agents with a
LAPD.
half a plane
John
outside
Cunningham.
of their building.
Can I help you, gentlemen? We have reason to believe that the Sawyer family of 4414 Rosewood Avenue recently won a competition run by your company.
Yes, I remember them. They called up to cancel at the last minute. One of the kids was sick. Very unfortunate.
Do you mind if I take a look at that? Here they are. Steffens. The Sawyer family, Rosewood Avenue. Tell us about the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
There's not much to tell. They run a promotion. Our promotion's mailing list covers half of LA.
So they are not a government agency?
I don't believe so. Government organizations don't usually get involved in promotions.
I'm told the tickets were a prize.
Yes, they were.
You do a lot of these prizes.
Look, there are hundreds of these promotions running at any one time. If you're the lucky guy, you get your name pulled out of a hat.
While the Sawyer family were supposed to be at Catalina Island, their house burnt down. You consider them lucky?
Christ. I'm sorry to hear that.
Can you tell me who offered the prize won by the Sawyer family?
Sure. Look, there's supposed to be some sort of supervised draw with hundreds of tickets. But the reality is the Suburban Redevelopment Fund calls me every couple of weeks and tells me exactly who has won.
Thanks for your help.
No problem. Just wish I could do something for that family.
You could put round the hat. A few bucks would really help them now.
I suppose so.
Good. I'll put you down for 50. I could tell you were Samaritan the minute I walked in the door.
50? Are you?
Good man, Cunningham. You're all right.
Yeah, I'm great. Poorer, but great.
You know what? At least you have a house to go back to, buddy. Those people don't. So, fuck you.
Let me guess. You want to check out the Suburban address?
Great partners must think alike.
Cut it out!
This is supposed to be the registered offices of the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
This is an Elysian housing development, Mac.
So Elysian is an investor in the redevelopment fund.
Looks that way.
Are we done here, Mac? I've got work to do.
Sure, buddy. Thanks for your help. Elysian are investors in the suburban redevelopment. So what? If you think I'm putting my pension on the line and harassing Leland Monroe without evidence, you're out of your mind.
So Elysian Fields builds the houses, while the Suburban Redevelopment Fund foots the bill.
Lynch says we should visit him at Fire Station 32.
Who exactly is this guy, Lynch?
Lynch is a legend. You should feel privileged. He doesn't let many people into the inner sanctum. Keep your mouth shut, and you'll learn something about fires.
We came as soon as we could.
Lynch.
Biggs, you two investigating the house fire on Kenmore Avenue as well?
Yep. Why?
I had a look around the place while I was out there.
Do you believe the fire?
I deal in facts, Phelps. Evidence of an explosion. No obvious sign of accelerants. Wiring looks intact. Come and take a look at this.
This the heater from the Sawyer fire out?
Yes, it is.
Huh. Looks like it was recently serviced.
I have a theory, and it's a theory only. I don't have enough evidence to prove...
Al, if you say it's so, we're listening.
Okay, Phelps. You're a bright penny. You have a gas supply. You have a Bunsen burner as a pilot light. You have a regulator valve, and the balloon represents the gas expanding in the room. Now, the gas has to make contact with the mosquito coil to form an explosion. Let's see if you can work out the chain of events. Good, your regulator's in position.
The gas bubble needs to be next to the coil if it's gonna ignite.
Okay, I'll light your pilot and turn the gas on.
You pull the lever on the left to turn on the gas.
So that's how it's being done.
Maybe. There could be a fault with these valves. I've adjusted this one for our experiment, but you need to take it to InstaHeat and see what they say. Their headquarters is on North Harvard Boulevard, number 262.
Thanks, Albert.
You're welcome, Biggs. See you at the next show.
Fine. But if the skipper sees us driving around in this, we're dead.
Why not? It's parked right there anyway.
The next fire. We should go to the factory and see how many of these things are going bang in the night.
You know this Chapman character?
Guy's a freak. Loves fires. He's the kind of guy that we'd like for a lot of things, but we don't really have any credible evidence to pursue him with.
Hello.
Hey Dana, how are you today? I just took a fire truck because, yes. Why not?
Wait, why are you driving a fire truck? Wasn't Cole a police officer or something?
Yes. So in LA Noire, you can take any vehicle you want. Like, I can literally take any of these vehicles and drive it. So I was at a fire department and I took the fire truck because, you know, why not? It was parked there.
Just you wait. That case where the lady cut up like the Dahlia.
New and improved model. They'll be selling these like hotcakes.
That's him. That's the best we could do for policemen in this city.
LAPD detectives, ma'am. We need to speak to someone in charge.
I see. Well, duty manager for today is Mr. Rasick. You should find him in his office.
The women don't find you handsome? They should at least find you handy.
Hey!
Fuck
I
you!
didn't come to California to be a secretary.
The hell is that guy's problem? Jesus Christ.
I swear, this town is going straight to hell.
Wow, that guy's a bit of a psychopath. Holy shit.
Detective Phelps and Biggs, Arson. We're investigating a couple of house fires. What can you tell us about this?
Pressure regulator from a Model 70. Let me take a look. We have a problem. This has been tampered with.
Weren't you on Vice? Because I don't see Roy.
You see this diaphragm? It forms a seal across the saddle here. Gas flows across from here to here. The diaphragm regulates flow. It's been reversed. It's a subtle change, but it means the gas never closes off properly. Yeah,
so I finished off Vice yesterday, so I'm I'm on Arson today. So I'm doing the first three. I'm doing the first 3 cases of arson today, and then the final 3 tomorrow, and then that's the end of my live stream of LA Noire. LA Noire is officially finished as of tomorrow. Then I will be doing later on tonight, or this afternoon, or whatever. I'll be doing more of The Last of Us Remastered. Yeah, and that's my plans. I'm gonna go into some horror games as well. I plan to do Alien Isolation, maybe some Visage, various horror games like that. I also plan to cover they're remaking Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, and Resident Evil 7 for PS5. So when those come out, I plan to live stream those as well.
So you're telling me that this is not a manufacturing fault or service repair?
I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with the design.
You're telling me that you've never had any problems with this heater?
Look, you've changed the design since the Model 70.
These things are still being installed?
It's the demand. None of us could keep up with the amount of housing going up. At the budget end, we're still using some of the old stock. We are installing 100 heaters a week. They're not all faulty.
They're not all safe either.
Are these diaphragms prone to failure?
They tend to go after a while. The rubber lasts quite a few years and then it perishes.
So then what happened? Why is Cole on arson?
Repairs on the heaters. They're fully licensed and accredited.
Sure, of course they are.
He gets demoted once it's found out that he was cheating on his wife and kids with Elsa Lichtman. So he gets demoted to arson. That's how the story goes.
You employ accredited mechanics to do this.
We call them installers. Technically, they're gas fitters.
Installers, then?
They know what they're doing, Detective, if that's what you're trying to imply.
I want you to get me a copy of the list of your installers.
Okay, I'll get it for you.
Oh, all right then.
There, around a dozen of them. Housing business is going crazy at the moment.
This is a long shot. We are not going to roust that whole list.
On Arson, you also don't play as Cole.
I want to run it by R&I.
The entire time.
For arsonists. See if any of these guys have any previous. Sir, I need to use your phone.
Go right ahead.
So on the Arson desk, you play as both Cole Phelps and Jack Kelso. So it's interesting. You play as actually 2 characters on the Arson desk. You play as Cole Phelps until he gets injured, and then you play as Jack Kelso.
My wife is so dumb.
Operator, give me dispatch.
Well, it does say concentrate on the cartons.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need to know if any of the following names have a previous criminal history.
Okay, Detective, run the names.
Acevedo Ernesto, Clemens Walter, Elgram John, Gable Leroy, Kelligrew Peter, Cutner Robert, Limehouse Albert, Manning Franklin, Neves Raymond, O'Brien Thomas, Ryan Matthew, Spurgeon William, Varley Reginald, Zurich Stephen.
Clemens Walter, previous conviction for arson and malicious damage. Burned down a house in Westwood in 1942. 4-year jail term.
Thanks.
Ryan Matthew, charged for contempt of court, attempted murder, plea bargain down to assault charge.
Anyone else?
There is a Reginald Varley wanted for murder by Detroit Police Department.
Thanks. You've been a big help, young lady. Your employment roster is quite the rogues gallery, Mr. Rasick. Desperate times indeed.
That woman was a pro. He read that list of names way too fast. Dude, if I was on dispatch and those names were read to me at that speed, I would be like, can you repeat that? Like, blah, 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 blah. That was crazy fast. And she was able to jot down all those names. That woman's a pro, man. All right, let's, where's the... Oh, no, I have to speak to him first, because that's right. He has to let me over to the lockers.
Do you have an address for Clemens?
He's working on an apartment building on Catalina and 3rd.
What about Ryan?
Currently working at a housing development on Normandy and 1st Street.
Varley, where is he?
Beverly and Mariposa, currently working on a new housing development. Hey, Varley's a good guy. You can't harass all my people.
These guys have lockers.
Yes, they do, but my men have a right to some privacy. Don't you need a warrant or something?
Show him and keep quiet.
Take another step this way and there's going to be trouble.
Here. Happy now?
Stick around, Mr. Rasick.
Clemens is a fellow traveler. Some light reading on the merciless capitalist machine. Ryan wants the world to be a better place, don't we all? The company went through thousands of these in the war. Still got eaten alive. Varley has a problem with bugs.
You know that a mosquito coil takes an hour to burn down, Rasick?
No, I didn't know that.
It's the favorite choice of ignition by arsonists. Gives them time to get away.
You're crazy. He probably lives near the canals in Venice. Mind if I leave you to it? I got work waiting.
3 birds. Clemens, Ryan, Varley. Where to, Phelps?
Those mosquito coils don't really work.
Saw his picture in the paper. That case where the lady cut up like the Dahlia.
My family uses them a lot at their cottage, and they don't do anything. They really don't. They just stink up the just stink up the place. They never actually are that effective against mosquitoes.
How are we gonna look getting around in this thing, Cole?
on.
Okay, Biggs, why do you care? This is not your vehicle. This is totally not your vehicle. It doesn't matter. This is one we took. It's not like you're gonna have to go get it repaired.
They can make a claim to the department.
Biggs, LAPD. We want some answers, and we want them quick.
Okay, okay. What's this all about? Just tell me what you want.
You know Reginald Varley?
No? Can't say I do.
You have a real viper's nest at Insta-Heat, don't you? Arsonists, murderers, communists.
What's that got to do with me? You can't prove I'm behind all that.
Looks like I was mistaken. Detroit PD is after Reginald Varley for murder. You want us to run you in for aiding and abetting Clemens?
Whoa, 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 whoa. All I know about Varley is he gets kickbacks from some developer. He does their work first. Spreads it around if he can.
You were licensed and worked for Insta-Heat?
I contract for them. So what?
Insta-Heat hires arsonists, does it?
I've worked as a fitter all my life. Put everything I had into that house. And my fucking mud shark of a wife gets awarded it in settlement. She's blowing spics 2 at a time while I'm at work. And she gets the house. Yeah, I burnt it all right. Set fire to that fucker and watched it burn to the ground. I did my time and I'd do it again.
Sorry about the rouse, Clemens. You did the right thing.
Do you know Matthew Ryan?
No. Don't know the name.
You and Ryan are fifth columnists.
And how do you figure that, wise guy? What proof do you have? Been following me to meetings? I am not now, nor have I ever been, a member of the Communist Party.
I clicked on the wrong one. I meant to click on Clemens.
Right, Clemens.
Damn it.
You're off the hook for the moment.
Can I get back to work now?
Let's
Shit.
get out of here, Phelps. He ain't our guy. How are we gonna look getting around in this thing, Cole? Farley's on the run. He might be packing heat. If he's wanted for murder, I say we take the doubt out of the equation and let him have it.
You nervous?
It's been a while.
You were in combat.
In 1917. You know, I never fired my weapon in the line of duty.
That's nothing to be ashamed of. I hope your piece is still serviceable, Herschel.
I may be old and out of practice, but I'm still a Marine, Phelps.
It would be better for our case if we could bring him in, Herschel. LAPD, Varley! Stop or I'll shoot. Come on, Varley. You can't keep running forever. Stop or I will shoot. Why did you run from us, Varley?
I'm gonna take a wild guess that you're the same Reginald Varley the Detroit police have an outstanding warrant on. How am I doing so far?
I need a lawyer before I talk to any of you.
Reginald Varley, you're under arrest for committing a series of arsons. You're also under arrest for murder. Detroit PD will be putting in a request for your extradition. Until then, you're guest at the scene.
Arson? You can't hang that rap on me.
Be quiet. Be thankful we don't shoot you.
Are all the cops in this town crazy?
Take him away, officer.
Fine. But if the skipper sees us driving around this, we're dead.
Are you Matthew Ryan?
Who's asking?
Detective Phelps and Biggs, Arson Squad.
Arson?
You heard the man.
Let's just put this stuff in the car and I'll be right with you.
Hold it, Ryan. I said...
Son of a bitch.
Those are GI's backyards he's crashing through.
The damage is only cosmetic.
He's a one-man wrecking ball.
Move in. I'll take out the van.
He's going to kill those men.
They'll get out of the way.
Only if they hear him coming.
Close in, Phelps. We need to take Ryan down before he hurts somebody.
Got an arson-related assault charge, and he's running.
Running don't mean nothing. We gotta get this guy in a room before we can get an angle on him.
This man has got to be stopped.
I'm trying to shoot out his tires. Wish me luck.
Jesus, what is he doing?
The tramp! Oh, Jesus!
Put your hands where I can see them. Why did you run, Ryan?
I was scared.
You got a reason to be scared, Ryan?
Matthew Ryan, I'm arresting you on suspicion of committing a series of arsons.
Did he wig out?
We have 3 suspects. As much as I'd like it to be Chapman, I think it's one of the other 2 guys. Let's get to the station and close this case.
Oh, for God's sakes.
Racer!
I have 2 suspects.
Phelps, you got nothing. Biggs, Ryan's waiting for you in interview 1. Varley's in 2.
Hey, Hopkins, you practicing your asshole routine again? Come on, Phelps.
Save yourself some time and get this thing off your chest.
If that's your opening gambit, you better try again.
You know how to reverse a diaphragm in the regulator valve of a Model 70 heater?
No, I don't.
You expect me to believe that, Ryan? I could do it myself.
Believe whatever you want, Flatfoot. You're part of the conspiracy.
What can you tell me about the Suburban Redevelopment Fund?
Nothing.
I think Suburban is a front for your anarchist buddies. They're arranging for people to be out of town while you burn their houses down.
Suburban? What's that got to do with me? That's Farley's bilk. He's the one with the cozy agreement with those fascists.
So you want to change the world, Ryan?
Yes, I do. So does every reasonable person.
And you're doing your part?
Yes, I am.
Does that include sabotaging water heaters to destroy a company?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
This is industrial sabotage, Ryan. It's all part of your campaign.
You're delusional, detective. What campaign?
Sorry, my mistake. Your locker is full of pamphlets. Clemens told us how you were always foisting them on people.
Sure. I spread the pamphlets. A guy has to do something. Insta-heat heaters break down every day. They're still peddling the same lousy design that they lifted from Hephaestus.
Insta-heat bought out Hephaestus?
Them, Vulcan, Pyro, and a bunch of other companies.
And you still work for them?
A guy has to work.
And the directors of the company. How do you feel about them these days?
You work it out.
You have a history of violence.
I have no such thing.
You're lying, Ryan.
And how exactly are you going to prove that?
You were charged with attempted murder, Ryan.
It was a court case. No criminal liability was the verdict. They said that they couldn't have known that the faulty heater installation would cause a fire. All I know is I lost my whole family. And the company that was responsible got away with it. What would you do?
Which company?
Hephaestus Water Heater Company.
That's it for the moment, Ryan.
So I can go?
Sure. As soon as your red friends storm the building and carry you out, you'll keep your seat until we decide how long to lock you up for, knucklehead.
Mouthpiece store strips off me at the grand jury. Case got thrown out. Now the DA
Hey,
wants
Ryan
my
is
head.
our man. But procedure says we eliminate all of the suspects. Let's speak to Varley.
I've been in this job 20 years. I never fired my gun.
We have Matthew Ryan in custody, Varley. I think all we need to do is ask him about this, and he'll rat you out.
Fuck Ryan, that pinko bastard.
Have you ever worked on a place on Rosewood Avenue? Family by the name of Sawyer?
Maybe. I'm from out of town. I go where they send me. I don't do a lot of repairs, though. I'm flat out on new installations.
Why are you lying to me, Varley? If Suburban wants their new installations completed, why are you bothering with wrecks like the Sawyer house?
So I'm lying just because I can't remember if I was there or not? How can you prove that I was?
Your name is on the inside door of their water heater.
Okay. You got me there. Suburban, yeah, they wanted that guy out. Sawyer kept complaining about not being able to get his heater service, so they threw in a free service as a sweetener. I think he played him, though, because he still wouldn't sell.
Word is, you're in the pocket of some property developer?
Never. I got principles.
How did Suburban put the squeeze on you? Did they find out about your record?
There's no way you can link me to Suburban. You're wasting your time. What'd I tell you? This is stupid. Now, when am I going to be able to get out of here?
What would reversing the diaphragm of an Instaheat Model 70 do?
Yeah, I made that mistake before. You get a big bang when you turn the pilot back on.
So you didn't deliberately sabotage the water heater at the Sawyer house?
No, I did not. You out of your mind?
Give me something, Varley, or I'll put it all on you.
Hey, look, I could try to pin this on one of the other guys, but I'd just be making something up.
We're done for now.
So what happens?
You're either going back to Detroit to face a murder rap, or you're staying here to answer for these arsons.
Need a drink. I got the jitters again.
Hey, you think those Vice boys did?
Matthew Ryan, I'm charging you with committing a series of arsons and for the murders of Hank Sawyer, Edwina Sawyer, Henry Sawyer, and Jessica Sawyer.
You're putting an innocent man away here. You hear me? I didn't set any fires. I didn't kill that family.
Phelps, what you did to your wife and kids was un-American.
My wife threw me out.
Did I ask for your opinion? You're here to listen to mine. What I was going to say, before I was interrupted, was you did a good job on the Stephen Sawyer case. We don't often get results in arson, so well done.
What about me? Do I get a little stamp on my hand or a lollipop or something?
What you get is another case. A bad one, unfortunately.
So that could have gone a lot better. I royally screwed up on a lot of those responses in the interviews, and that's put me at a 3-star. Which is a shame, but thankfully it keeps the score that you originally got, the highest score that you originally got. And so as you'll see on the Arson desk in the past, I got all 5 stars. So the only reason I'm screwing it up so badly now is because I haven't played L.A. Noire in so long. So I can barely remember how to get all 5 stars anymore. Anyway, let's continue on with a walk in Elysian Fields.
House fire. A bad one. At least 4 Vicks. Get out there and find out what you can. The address is 650 North Hobart.
I think his name is... He brought in that case with that poor lady killed.
Mouthpiece tore strips off me at the grand jury. Case got thrown out.
You hear about Rancho Escondido?
Are we having a conversation, Biggs?
Okay, fuck it. Forget
I'm teasing you, Herschel. Tell me about it.
Well, the new housing development's a couple of weeks from completion. Burned to the ground last night. GIs are ready to move in this weekend. Developer's gonna have some very angry customers. A shame about Shep. The arson desk has been trying to nail that son of a bitch for years.
He's still in custody, Herschel.
Wanna bet? Fella kicked him loose already. Can't hold him for misdemeanor cigarettes and matches.
Left up ahead. At least we'll know where we've been if we try to retrace our steps.
You guys better see this.
hope you have strong stomachs.
Do you have a name?
Morelli, Mike. We recovered a picture of the family.
Okay. Anything else?
To be honest, I just got here, Phelps. Best you talk to Lynch. He's the expert.
Doesn't make any sense. Why aren't they scattered around like the rest of the debris?
I think they've been moved.
Ooh.
I think someone moved them after the explosion and before the fire.
Can you explain that, please?
I'm almost positive the cause of death is asphyxiation due to gas inhalation. Look at the parts of their bodies that aren't scorched. The coloring around the fingertips is typical.
They wouldn't have felt a thing.
I think the fire damage is post-mortem. I think someone moved them into this room after the explosion.
It still doesn't make any sense. Why would you run into a burning building?
What are they doing?
The prayer effect is from the fire. The muscles and tendons contract.
You catch all the good ones, Phelps.
You ever think about how many people have died in this world? And how big heaven would have to be to accommodate them bigs?
No, I have not. Show some respect.
It's our boy. I think he watches the fires. I think the Sawyer fire went wrong.
So what about the guy we have in jail, Phelps?
We got the wrong guy.
That doesn't explain why he ran into a burning building. What would make anyone do that?
Guilt.
For the fires?
For his mistake. This guy wants to burn houses, not families. He expects the houses to be empty. He was trying to redeem himself. He probably thought they'd be happier together.
You are one very disturbed individual, Phelps. I know you had it rough lately, but you should start to compartmentalize your thoughts.
You could be right. Can you come up with an alternative explanation?
I'm sure it's the same guy.
Are you telling me that some son of a bitch murdered these people, the whole family, and arranged them here like Cupid dolls?
Might fit, Cole, but I don't think we could ever prove it. There's very little evidence.
Evidence?
Albert, check out the hot water system. Make sure we're dealing with the same MO.
Sure, Phelps. I'll get back to you.
Leave the rest to us, Cole. You better find out what's eating Biggs.
So something finally got to you.
You want my help, pretty boy? You got it. You keep riding me, and you won't be pretty much longer.
We can get this guy, Herschel.
You think you've seen everything, Phelps? I was with the 2nd Marines at Bella Wood. The things that went on in that farmhouse. My own guys on fire, screaming for a way out. You're not gonna get this guy. There's gonna be no photos and no citations. We're gonna kill this miserable fuck. End of story. You getting this?
You remember the list from the travel agent?
Sure.
The Morellis were winners too. Their name was on that list.
Christ. We should take a look around, work the neighbors, see what they know. I'll go across the street.
Okay, I'll try this side.
I haven't done this for years.
You don't look like a fireman, son.
LAPD. Can you tell me anything about the fire next door?
Terrible luck. Imagine after having won that weekend away.
What's your name, sir?
Foreman. Dudley Foreman.
Did you see or hear anything that might have...
Look, we were asleep when we heard the explosion.
You didn't like Morelli, did you?
Some neighbors you get along with, some you don't. Guess they should have sold up.
What do you mean?
They're knocking down all these old houses and building a new subdivision for GIs. Morelli was being difficult.
You said someone is knocking these houses down?
Elysian Fields. You must know them. They're billboards. That Monroe character beaming down at you. We've had an offer for the house.
Did the Morellis want to sell?
I don't know.
Whatever you thought of Morelli, his whole family is dead. They couldn't have all deserved that. I want you to help me here, Foreman.
Morelli was pig-headed. He built the house himself. He didn't want to sell. Stubborn fool was ruining it for all of us.
You said the Morellis had won a weekend away to Catalina Island?
Yeah, that's right. First thing I thought after the explosion was, thank goodness they was away. But then I find out they were still in there.
Who was running the competition?
What? I don't know.
I need more, Mr. Foreman. Tell me what you know about the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
I know nothing about it. I've never heard of them. All a man can do is put in a prayer for the dead. That's about all I've got to say about it.
Someone was keeping watch. Looks like they were here for quite a while. Brand looks distinctive. Whoever he was wearing boondockers. I would know that imprint anywhere. Did you see anyone hanging around the Morellis' home prior to the explosion?
Nope. Can't say as I was looking out, though.
I think you're covering for someone, Foreman. Who is it?
And I think you are off your rocker. How can you make an accusation like that? What proof have you got?
You don't ask, you never find out. You sure, Mr. Foreman? There are signs of someone hanging around over there by the fence.
Hey, now that you come to think of it, there was a guy. Kind of tall. Skinny, though.
Anything else?
Orange lumber jacket, a beat-up hat, and no hair. I thought he was the pest exterminator guy who was working around here the last few days. But that guy had hair.
Thanks for your time, Mr. Foreman.
Sure. Hey, if you're interested, I have one of those competition flyers in the kitchen. I could get it for you if you like.
That would be great.
Any luck, Cole?
A couple of things. What did you pick up?
Folded piece of paper. Looks complicated.
Japanese call it origami. Can I take a look?
Sure.
Paper crane. There's a legend about them. You fold 1,000 of these and you get a wish.
Hey, don't break it.
I'm not. I'm unfolding it. It looks like a waybill or a flyer.
For what?
For Elysian Fields developments.
Oh, I see you already have one.
When did the flyer arrive in your mailbox?
They've been arriving for weeks. This one was in the mailbox when I got home from work yesterday afternoon.
Come on, you could tell me.
I need an address for a property developer. Elysian Fields Developments.
One moment, Detective. The address is 748 North Oxford Avenue, Wilshire. Anything else?
Messages, please.
You have a message. Contact Captain McKelty immediately.
Thanks. Can you put me through, operator?
Of course. Here you are.
Commander?
Leads on the Morelli fire.
We're about to go and visit Elysian Fields Developments.
You're about to do what? Leland Monroe. He's a personal friend of the mayor and the chief. Are you out of your mind? I'm warning you, Phelps.
Commander, we have a line of inquiry.
You have something, you bring it to me. You're hanging by a thread, Phelps. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Good. Have a report on my desk today.
Walking down the street.
Kelty has warned us off over Elysian.
Makes sense. It's a dead end. We should check out Rancho Escondido.
You know the place?
Sure. Corner of Fountain and Wilton. Let's go.
Looks like the same model. This is the flashpoint. The heater detonated with enough force to expose the foundations.
How did you get my number, Ira?
At first, I didn't understand you. But now I do.
I'd like you to come back to the clinic.
I'm helping other people now, Doctor.
I think you are confused. You haven't been to the clinic for weeks.
I'm not confused anymore, Doctor. I'm helping people be together.
This world is only temporary. We'll all be happier in heaven. Why don't you tell me where you are and I can come to you? I think the fires should end now. They have served their purpose.
Oh, the fires are only beginning, Doctor. After the fires, everything will be beautiful and clean.
Everything will be erased. The world will be fresh and new.
I can see my purpose now, Doctor. And you helped me to find it.
You know, there are times when you really miss a nightstick. There's more religion in the end of a nightstick than in 100 cathedrals.
I'm not gonna tell you again, sir.
Don't tell me when and how I can come and go on my own property.
It is not
This is
safe,
America,
sir.
dickhead.
Now step back, or I'll lock you up for
Smart
a fray.
mouth son of a bitch!
Come on, then.
That's done it, Cole. We're gonna have to pacify these poor saps.
I'm gonna be...
Stand down! That's an order!
Don't worry. I'll lay you out quick.
Good thing you showed up when you did, detectives. Those folks were baying for blood.
Okay, then. Let's see if there's anything left to take a look at.
Mortar is like dust. Is that normal in a fire?
You'd expect some shrinkage in the heat, but it looks like the cement barely adhered to the brick. Doesn't appear to be any wall ties either. This thing looks like it was built on the cheap. If we're paying a visit to Elysian and ruining my career, let's bite the bullet and get on with it.
So I gotta be honest, this case is pretty fucked up because, so Suburban Redevelopment Fund is literally just burning people out of their homes to rebuild the homes and sell them to GIs that are returning from the war. So the whole thing is that they're giving people contest where they go on a trip, and then while they go on their trip, Suburban Redevelopment Fund pays people to burn their houses down, and then the people come back and their house is burnt down, they lose their house, then the house is rebuilt and given to Marines. It's pretty fucked up.
Damn! Cole, what are you doing?
should be ashamed of yourself, young man.
Detectives Phelps and Biggs, LAPD, to see Leland Monroe.
Do you have an appointment?
We're the police, lady. We don't need an appointment.
Can I tell him what it's about?
It's an official investigation.
There are 2 police officers here to see Mr. Monroe.
Send them through.
And that's our cue. Thanks, ma'am.
May I help you, gentlemen?
I wonder how many more layers.
We would like to speak to Mr. Monroe.
I'm afraid it's impossible. Mr. Monroe's schedule is booked weeks in advance.
Cut to the chase, sister. Is he in?
I'm not at liberty to reveal that, officer.
So he hired you for your intelligence?
I find that offensive.
You have every right to.
This is getting us nowhere, miss.
Casino.
Would you like us to return with a warrant?
That won't be necessary, gentlemen. Come into my office.
So the actor playing Leland Monroe, this guy who just had come into my office, he's in a lot of stuff. He's a Hollywood actor. I can't remember his name. It's John something. John. I keep thinking it's John Morgan. No, John. I can't remember his name now, but he's best known for doing the voice of Scarecrow in Batman Arkham Knight. So if you've ever played Batman Arkham Knight, he's the voice of Scarecrow in that game.
Like a cigar. Drink, boys.
Sure, I'll have a scotch.
Biggs. We're investigating a series of domestic fires, Mr. Monroe.
It's terrible, boys. How can I help?
Elysian Fields and Suburban Redevelopment Fund flyers keep turning up in the vicinity of the fires.
They're turning up all over town, boys. Can you imagine the current demand for housing?
So that's your explanation, Mr. Monroe? Coincidence?
Explanation? Why, what's to explain? I advertise on radio and billboards for buyers, and I advertise for sellers using waybills.
So the actor's name is John Noble, by the way. I just looked it up. So I was right. It was John something. I thought it was John Monroe for some reason or something like that. It's John Noble. And he's in a lot of stuff.
We found a family burnt out in their home. Another house burned to the ground. Another Elysian Fields flyer. Our information is that they didn't want to sell.
Are you saying that's something to do with me? Is that your point?
Point is, every time we find a family barbecue, we find one of your flyers. Is that good advertising?
What do you know about a competition for families to win free vacations to Catalina Island?
My company runs many promotions. I'm not familiar with that one.
Level with me, Mr. Monroe. You know all about the vacation offers.
You can believe whatever you like, son. You're missing the vital ingredient called proof.
Your face is all over the flyers, Mr. Monroe. You know about the prizes, and you're aware that they get given to holdouts.
My face is the brand. It's on all our advertising. Did you know that the mayor and the chief of police are part of the Suburban Redevelopment Fund? Do you want to accuse them of murder as well?
We've made offers to buy houses in areas where fires have been recorded.
Are you suggesting that I'm burning people out of their homes so that I can sell them new ones?
What happens to your plans if a family like the Morellis refuses to sell?
We work around them. Business finds a way. That's the American way.
Come on, Mr. Monroe. You expect me to believe that you would build a new development with one of those old piles smack bang in the center of it?
Progress is an inexorable process, Detective. Those who choose to stand in defiance are usually confined to the wastebasket of history. To answer your question, yes, we would build around them if we had to. Most people see sense.
What's Elysian Field's involvement in Rancho Escondido?
One of our latest housing developments. It was due to open on the weekend, or was before the unfortunate conflagration.
It met with building code regulation.
Absolutely. Only the best for our returning heroes.
You're lying, Monroe. There's something out of kilter about that development.
Son, I've had enough of you and your fidgety friend. There's no way in hell you can prove that my materials were inferior.
I'm no expert, but I think we'll find that the bricks being used on those houses are undersized and the mortar is faulty.
And there's no wall ties connecting the masonry to the frame.
Every building is built to a budget, boys. Those buildings were inspected and fully insured by California Fire and Life. Investment of that magnitude demands it. Do you think that they'd vouch for the buildings without examining them? The arsonists, do you have any suspects?
We aren't at liberty to say.
I didn't think so. The contractors I use for waybills, do you suppose it could be any of them? I have a list of their names if it'd be of any help.
That would be very helpful, Mr. Monroe.
Glad to hear it. I'm always happy to help the LAPD. My secretary will provide you with that list. Did you know that I'm on the board of the police pension fund?
Glad to be of help, officers.
What's the story? Any of these names ring a bell?
Herbert Chapman is on this list.
Find the phone. We need to know where we're at with Chapman.
Your boss is a fine man.
Mister, a man like you always loses a battle of wits because you're unarmed.
Operator, message for KGPL.
Putting you through now.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Can you check whether we are still holding a Herbert Chapman?
Let me find out for you. He was released this morning, Detective. I'm sorry, Detective.
Not your fault. Can you give me a last known address and put out an APB on the guy?
I'll get back to you, Detective. APB will go out over KGPL shortly.
Thanks, ma'am.
I love the chase till the minute I win it. A beautiful face till there's love for me in it. Give me your heart and baby I'll bill it. 'Cause I always kill the things I love.
Buy me a drink, Cole?
No.
Not even for old time's sake? Not even for that? You're not gonna ask me why I'm here?
I wouldn't give you the pleasure. We'll get around to
it.
She's in fine voice this evening. I wonder how the commander would feel
Save
about...
the threats for someone who cares about them, Roy.
You're breaking my heart, Cole. You know how I feel about you.
As you feel the pain.
Stay away from Elysian Fields.
I should have known that you were playing errand boy.
You and your doofus partner. You have been warned.
Thanks for your cooperation, officer.
I love you.
Stay away. You have no idea the type of people that are involved in that company.
I have a pretty good idea, Roy. The same kind of people that sent you here.
Your investigation is finished. Homicide will be taking over from here. I've heard we've had a spate of grass fires in the hills that you and that hunchback might be able to handle. Thanks for the drink, Cole.
You get the message about Monroe?
Yeah. Earl delivered it. You?
McKelty. He started making noises about my pension.
Sorry about that, Herschel. I didn't mean to drag you into this.
Save it, Phelps. Monroe's an asswipe. And so was Earl. And so was McKelty when it's all said and done.
KGPL calling car 11K, 11K.
11K, go ahead.
11K, the last known address of suspect Herbert Chapman is 650 North Kingsley Drive in Wilshire.
Roger that, KGPL. 11K en route.
Let's go pick him up.
You fought at Sugarloaf, didn't you?
I did. But I don't like to talk about it.
You come across a guy called Jack Kelso out that way?
You know Jack Kelso?
He's an insurance investigator over at California Fire and Life. Our paths cross from time to time. For some reason, seeing you makes me think of him.
Has, Jack spoken to you about his experiences on Sugarloaf? Or the rest of the campaign?
Jack keeps stum just like you do. I know what it feels like to get back from conflict. You gotta respect that.
Continue the response.
We're looking for Herbert Chapman.
I'm looking for him, too. I need him to move his car so I can mow the lawn.
He's definitely not here.
I've been banging on his door off and on for a couple of hours. Yeah, he's out somewhere. There's some kind
Let's
of problem.
take a look at the car.
Let's see what he's hauling around. Definitely gives him opportunity. Motive, opportunity, and hard evidence. We should revise the APB. He's clearly armed.
Hold it, Cole. There he is. It's Chapman. He's coming out of the laundromat. Shit. He's seen us.
Cops! Again!
Son of a bitch, he must have caught the trolley. We gotta move fast, Cole. I'll call this in, get some cars dispatched. Car 11K calling KGPL.
Go ahead,
11K requesting assistance. In pursuit of suspect aboard the 1110 University streetcar, currently heading east on Melrose Avenue. Advise all units. Suspect is in control of car and driving dangerously.
Roger, 11K. All units, officers need assistance on Melrose Avenue. A suspect aboard the 1110 University streetcar headed eastbound. Approach with caution. Suspect is in control of the streetcar and driving dangerously. Units to handle code 3 identified.
Stay on his ass, Cole. Don't lose him. Look, Cole, the side plate's gone. Get me closer. I think I got a shot here.
I can't hit a target that isn't there, Phelps.
Hold him tight, Cole. End of the line, you little prick. Come on, Cole. Looks like we have our man, Cole. Well done.
I'm not so sure. Chapman seemed to have his own agenda. There seems to be more to this than a personal vendetta.
What are you talking about?
The fires benefit Elysian in some way. I don't see Chapman and Monroe working together.
You have a point. The evidence is good for Chapman. Hard to be worrying about his side of the story when he's blasting away with that big 45.
Nice work, gentlemen. Put yourself at considerable risk stopping that trolley and probably saved a lot of lives. Anyone else but you, Phelps, and you'd be up for a bravery award. We've had our eyes on that slippery son of a bitch Chapman for as long as I can remember. I couldn't be happier than to wipe him off the scoreboard. I hope this puts to bed that crazy stuff you had going about Leland Monroe. What were you thinking, Phelps? You'll be calling Richard Nixon a crook next.
What is it?
A letter from Lou. His insurance policy named me beneficiary.
California Fire and Life. You worked for Elysian?
The roof that he was working on collapsed.
It's a very generous settlement. Elsa, I'd like you to do something for me. I think there's something dirty about Elysian Fields.
What has that got to do with Lou?
I want you to reject this settlement. I want you to go and see an investigator named Jack Kelso and ask him to make some inquiries about Lou's case.
Isn't this police work?
Do you want to find out what happened to Lou?
Why would he help, this Kelso?
Jack won't be able to help himself if he smells a rat.
He's a friend of yours?
He hates my guts. Elsa, you could take this money and let them get away with it, or we could get Jack's help and do something about it.
Why not be honest with this man, Cole? He deserves your honesty if you want his help.
Believe me, Elsa, I'd like to level with him. I really would, but it's too late.
Hi gamers. I had a feeling you'd be streaming when I came on.
Hey, Curious. Yeah, I've actually been streaming for a while. But yes, I'm streaming LA Noire.
missed 112 minutes astonished face.
Mr. Kelso?
That's what the sign on the door says, miss.
Elsa Lishman. Dear Miss Lishman, pertaining to the matter of policy number 119-01659 and the sudden death of Mr. Louis Van Buckwalter, I am writing to inform you that you have been named as sole beneficiary of Mr. Buckwalter's estate. Please find attached a settlement check for $20,000. The maximum payable amount in accordance with Clause 4-A of the Life Care, Disability, and Accidental Death Policy which Mr. Buckwalter held. If you wish to dispute the settlement, you may contact our account management office by return mail or by phone during office hours. With condolences, Clarence W. Fleming, Claims Assessor, California Fire and Life Insurance.
There's no need to come into the office, Miss Licton. If you accept the settlement, all you need to do is sign here.
I don't accept the
What do you mean you don't accept? I think you're pushing your luck, lady. This seems to be a ridiculously generous settlement. A $200 policy with a $20,000 payout? You should...
I don't want the money.
What do you mean you don't want the money?
I want you to investigate this case. I feel my friend may have been the victim of foul play.
Zero Melons Liar Air.
Let me get the case file.
Here.
My God, everybody seems to be coming. I've been streaming this for like an hour. You guys are just showing up now? It's fine.
There's got to be more in these files.
What was his death an accident? Face with raised eyebrow.
No, he was murdered.
Dude. Try.
Oh, no, you don't need to apologize, Melon Slayer. Like, at all. You don't need to apologize. You guys come whenever you feel like it.
Almost 2 hours face with time.
Yeah, and that's normally my... That's normally my my limit when I stream. Is I try not to go past 2 hours because then people get bored. What am I missing here? Oh, I have to turn the page, don't I? Yes.
The settlement was probably to keep her quiet.
Yep.
I'm in swimming class.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so in this particular part of the game, everybody's kind of corrupt. Like, yeah. Well, you'll find out. I don't want to ruin too much. Reinsurance policy number 119-01659. While in the employ of Elysian Fields Development, Louis Jan Buckwalter was killed when the roof of the property on which he was working collapsed. On Tuesday, the 28th of January at approximately 8:30 in the morning, Mr. Buckwalter was ascending the roof structure of a property at the Normandy Avenue development when a fault in the ridge beam caused it to sag. Witnesses report that Mr. Buckwalter slipped and attempted to right himself by holding onto a ceiling rafter, but the rafter broke. Mr. Buckwalter fell approximately 23 feet to the ground. His falling weight caused several ceiling joists to snap, and these fell inward along with part of a prefabricated roof truss. An autopsy later revealed that Mr. Buckwalter's cranium was shattered, probably when he struck his head on one of the roof beams. He sustained significant internal injuries as a result of the falling timber. And died of internal hemorrhage approximately 10 minutes after the initial roof collapse. Independent testing of the ridge beam and roof truss has determined that faults in the timber were undetectable prior to installation. Witnesses report that Mr. Buckwalter was following all safety procedures. It is the opinion of this investigator that the death of Louis Jan Buckwalter constitutes a genuine and unavoidable industrial accident, and no fault can be ascribed to Elysian Fields developments. The insurance benefits associated with this policy should be paid in full to the designated beneficiaries. Timothy Lee,
Sounds like
Senior,
your friend took a hell of a fall.
Senior Claims Investigator.
Sorry for your loss.
I don't think there's anything else to look at here. Coordinates? Nope. I think we're done.
Do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions?
Of course not.
What basis do you have for your claim of foul play?
Lou Buckwalter was a craftsman. I don't believe he would have made a roof that would collapse.
You want me to reopen this case based on your woman's intuition? That isn't going to happen. Take the money.
I've already told you I do not want the money. There's something...
Wait, that's Phelps?
No. So later on in the game, you actually play as Jack Kelso. So it's really interesting. So by near the ending of the game, you play as both Phelps and Jack Kelso, and they work together to bring down like the corrupt agencies and stuff.
You and Buckwalter weren't married?
No.
Then how did you become his beneficiary?
We were family friends.
Okay.
You expect me to reopen this case because you come in here walking that walk? Well, I'm not buying it. I think you should tell me what the hell is going on.
You really want to know?
Yes.
We were interned together on Ellis Island. Resident alien Germans whose parents had been killed by Nazis. Do you see the irony in that, Mr. Kelso? We spent 4 years there.
So the roof collapsed, accidents happen. What exactly are you trying to achieve here, Miss Lichtman?
Exactly what I said. I want that building thoroughly investigated.
I'm intrigued, Miss Lichtman. I really am. But you're going to have to give me something if you want me to get involved in this.
There is a conspiracy surrounding Elysian Fields and the new houses they are building. I believe your insurance company is involved.
That's pretty heady stuff, Miss Lichtman. Flimsy, but heady.
I've told you what I know, Mr. Kelso. What are you going to do about it?
All right, Miss Lichtman. One final question.
Yes.
What's your address?
Is that usual?
Is there anything usual about this case, Miss Lichtman?
The address is on the letter, Mr. Kelso.
The address, but not the phone number.
Mr. Benson would like to see you in his office, Jack. Upstairs. Come on, I'll walk you up.
I'm trying to get Olaf to play this Curious because I feel like
memorize your name.
this game would be right up his alley. Honestly, it's honestly a fantastic game.
Mr. Benson, you wanted to see me?
Ah, yes, Jack. I'm just trying out a new putter. I noticed Elsa Lickman in the lobby.
It's the weirdest thing, Mr. Benson.
Call me Curtis, Jack. This is California.
Like I said, Curtis, this is a very strange case.
How so, Jack?
That lady, Elsa Lichtman, is refusing a 20 grand payout.
Elsa Lickman is hardly a lady, Jack. She's a jazz musician. Plays at the Blue Room in Hollywood. She has a fine pair of lungs, now that I think
She's
of
the
it.
beneficiary of this guy, Lou Buckwalter. He was killed in an industrial accident working for Elysian Fields Developments. You know Elysian?
I'm familiar with Leland Monroe. We move in similar circles.
Well, Miss Lichtman is making some pretty serious accusations.
I feel like he'd like it as well. The driving reminds me of Cyberpunk 2077 Face with Tongue.
It's a pretty generous payment, Curtis. I think I should look into it.
Is there anything wrong with the paperwork, Kelso?
No, there isn't, Mr. Benson.
I didn't think so. Pay the case out and get her off our backs.
I can't make her take the money,
Deal
sir.
with it, Jack. Do your fucking job. Do I have to do everything?
No, sir, you don't.
Fine, Jack. Fine. You know I have the greatest confidence in you.
Thanks, Mr. Benson.
Curtis has minus 31,687 IQ.
Keep talking. Someday you'll say
Your
something.
car, Mr. Kelso. Thanks, kid.
Mister, man like
I love how Curtis Benson is like, deal with it, do your fucking job, and then he says, I have the greatest confidence in you. Well, if you had the greatest confidence in me, you wouldn't be telling me to deal with it and do my fucking job now, would you? In case you guys haven't realized by now, Curtis Benson is also corrupt.
That's why I said that.
Yeah. I think my favorite thing about L.A. Noire is the fact that it uses all real actors. Every single
corruption / assholery.
Every single character in the game is filmed.
Well, they scanned them.
No, well, no, their faces are filmed. So how it's... one sec. How it's done is their faces are filmed, and then they're digitized. The reason they're digitized is so that they fit in... Okay. Let me exit my car for a sec. So, basically, they are filmed all the time. Their movements... You'll see that his eyes dart... Well, I don't know if... It's hard to see in this light, but his eyes dart around and everything. It's a filmed face. But then they have to digitize it. And the reason they digitize it is because if it was just a filmed face over a body, it wouldn't look right. It wouldn't fit in with the environment that they made. So then they had to digitize the face after it was filmed. By adding kind of almost like a paint of colors. So it's very well done.
Are the houses filmed too?
No. So the only thing that's filmed in the game are the actors' faces. The rest is CGI. Just the faces. The faces and their hair. It's just their heads, basically, is filmed. And the rest is all computer generated.
That's not how my pop taught me to mix it. Someone is cutting corners.
City of Los Angeles Department of Building and Safety, Order of Demolition. The City of Los Angeles, pursuant to Section 191, Part 1, Subsection A of the California Building Code, hereby orders that any building work at the Normandy Avenue subdivision associated with the incident of 01/28/1947 be immediately demolished, and all building material removed from the site.
Bulldozing and starting again. Leland Monroe, the man with the grin. Looks like he doesn't like to be disappointed.
Hey, you just can't be walking around down here.
I'm Jack Kelso, from California Fire and Life.
I don't care if you're from the Vatican. Buzz off.
I'm investigating the accidental death of a Lou Buckwalter, and...
You deaf? Do I have to beat on you?
Looks like you do.
Nope. Still ain't sunk in, buddy.
You're a real asshole. You know that?
I came to see the house where Lou Buckwalter died. You were just about to offer to show me the way.
It's out the gate and 3 houses down on the left. Don't know what you're looking for, smart guy. There's nothing there.
Then I'll poke around in the rubble.
Fine. As long as you're out of my sight.
Lol.
I hate
Falls
that
down, and then they bulldoze it.
I get that that's a thing back then. They called it Los Angeles, but it's such a Nobody calls it Los Angeles. Nobody. I don't know of a single person who calls it Los Angeles. It's not the city of angles. It's the city of angels. Oh my God.
Let's try to piece this together. That's not right.
Los Angeles.
Keystone Films. Who gets their lumber from a film studio?
That got me laughing so hard.
Right? It's so stupid. Los Angeles. Shit! Yeah. I forgot I had to run there. Thank God for autosaves that are like every second.
Bro, what is that guy doing?
Trying to kill me with the bulldozer?
You son of a bitch. Oh, shit.
Oh shit! No, I just remember what I have to do. I'm an idiot. I have to keep on. I have to keep on turning around and shooting at him until he stops. So you have to run a tiny bit, then turn around and shoot, and then run and then shoot.
You son of a bitch.
Good luck.
Come on, Jack.
Sounds like you're gonna need it. He'll need it.
No, I'm good. You just have to shoot him a couple of times. It slows him down. Anyway, let's go back to our investigating.
We said that the exact same May.
Yeah, I noticed that. You both said it at the same time. You have no faith in me! What's that? What's that? There's no faith in me! You think I'm just gonna die? Come to think of it, I did die twice, but, you know. We're gonna forget that happened.
Jack Kelso, California Fire and Life investigator. I need an address on the Keystone Film Company.
He.
658 North Wilton Place. Is there anything else?
No, thank you, ma'am.
I always find it funny that they just sit there after they say no thank you ma'am, they just sit there holding the phone for like a few more minutes. It's like, she's already hung up, dude. You can hang up now.
He is old school.
I've got a job to do.
Yeah, I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to convey that men would always wait until the women hang up before they would hang up, as a sign of courtesy.
He doesn't know how to use phones. You have to run from a bulldozer trying to kill you while shooting at it. That sounds like too close for comfort timing.
And now we're gonna be
California drivers.
God damn it! Now we're gonna be at Keystone. This is where we find a whole bunch of evidence on the corrupt.
Hi, Mac. I work for California
folks.
Fire and Life. I'm looking into an industrial accident.
Here?
No, not here. At a housing development over on Normandy Avenue.
So?
I found some lumber over there, had the Keystone name printed on it.
We've been closed since '41. Never quite made the transition to talkies. The Suburban Redevelopment Fund are pulling the place down.
Know anything about the Suburban Redevelopment Fund?
Nix.
Mind if I
I
take
would
a
have
look
died more than twice unless I had good luck.
If someone was to leave a couple of bucks here, I might wander down the street and get a cup of coffee.
Is there a key to the gate?
No. The only guys who go in or out are some delivery guys from Elysian Fields. They're working on a housing development over at Wilton and Santa Monica. You'll have to hop it.
So this is where their lumber comes from?
Me, just waiting to see when Phelps appears.
I don't think he's on this case. He'll be on the next case, I think. Oh, there we go.
It's one way to keep your costs down. Too bad it won't support a roof. Gotta be something else around.
Like, okay, like, yeah.
What's left in the
probably. Could you imagine doing what these guys are doing? This is insanity. Okay, so let me put this into perspective for you. So basically what is going on here is Leland Monroe, who owns the Suburban Redevelopment Fund, that is that is tied in with the mayor and the chief of police, is literally telling random people in the city that they've won a contest, and it's a vacation. So the vacation is all 100% paid for. So the people leave and go on a vacation. While they're gone, he has people burn down their house. They come back, their house is completely leveled, and then they are homeless. And then Leland Monroe pays Suburban Redevelopment Fund to take old wood from the Keystone Studios, from when they tore down the Keystone Studios lot. So they're taking the old wood and building new houses for GIs with inferior lumber. Can you fucking imagine? So first of all, you're burning people out of a house, and then you make them homeless, and then you build new houses for returning war veterans using inferior product. Holy hell. What the hell, man? This guy is so corrupt. It's like insanity.
That's beyond fucked up. That plea. P.
In a great day for the future of Los Angeles, civic leaders and businessmen joined forces to launch the Suburban Redevelopment Fund. The Suburban Redevelopment Fund pledges to speed up housing development.
BRB, might miss end of the stream though.
No worries, Curious.
Harlan Fontaine is our latest investor in the Suburban Redevelopment Fund. Doctor, this is Curtis Benson. He's Vice President of the California Fire and Life. Pleased to meet you, Doctor. Ray Gordon, editor of the Times. Doctor. District Attorney Donald Sandler and Police Chief Warren. Gentlemen, I am delighted to be in such exalted company.
You're making quite a name for yourself, Doctor, amongst the thespian fraternity.
I find that those of artistic temperament are often of a fragile mental disposition.
It's a short step from miscreant to recidivism, Doctor.
Very true. But I think we could all agree that the City of Angels does rather well basking in the reflection of the motion picture industry. Hear, hear. And
if I have to go poop, he'll take my laptop with me in the toilet.
Gentlemen, we're here to sell the American dream, and Hollywood is our greatest advertiser.
So, how is your new development selling, Leland?
Cannot throw them up fast enough, Ray.
And that's part of the problem, Leland. Washington is receiving steady complaints. There's a clamor for public housing.
God damn it, Ray. Public housing is tantamount to communism. Now that's why we fought this goddamn war. I'm telling you, it's Reds via the back door.
You can't have it both ways, Leland. The new freeways are being built to service all your developments out in the boondocks. They're all being built with government money. The GI Bill is government money.
There's a difference.
What difference?
The GI money ends up in my pocket.
I hope you mean our pockets, Leland. We're all investors.
Of course, Curtis. So, when will the freeway bond be passed on?
It still has to be ratified. Takes a long time to raise $3 billion.
These movies are like the Home Alone ones.
I need to find a game well or a telephone.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. The, yeah.
Great day for the future.
The ones Kevin watches.
Yeah, those are fake too. They weren't actually real movies. That was actually filmed for Home Alone. You're talking about that. You have 10 seconds to leave the... Yeah.
Dude.
Oh, there's a phone right here. Well, that's convenient. Where's the phone? In his office, probably. Yep. Oh, is there another newspaper here? No.
Yeah.
Operator, can you put me through to police dispatch?
Putting you through now.
This is Jack Kelso, investigator for California Fire and Life. Can you put me through to Curtis Benson, please?
Just a moment, please, Mr. Kelso.
Jack, how can I help?
Do you know anything about the Suburban Redevelopment Fund, Mr. Benson?
I've heard of them, Jack. Building new homes for GIs.
With green lumber that was used on movie sets.
Jack, are you working the Buckwalter case?
Mr. Benson, are you part of the Suburban Redevelopment Fund?
Jack, I want you to listen very clearly. Call Miss Lickman. Call her as soon as you hang up. Arrange to see her tonight and get her to agree to the settlement. Do it tonight. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
End of story, Jack. I don't want to hear another word about Elsa Lickman or Luke Buckwalter.
Can you put me through to Michigan 221?
Putting the call through.
Hello?
Ms. Lichtman, it's Jack Kelso.
Yes, Mr. Kelso.
I've been looking into your case.
Yes, and what have you found?
It doesn't look good. I need to see you.
Meet me at the Blue Room. I work there tonight. I take a break around 9. I'll be waiting at the stage door. We can talk then. Auf Wiedersehen, Mr. Kelso.
Thanks, ma'am.
I think you're going to see Cole Phelps in this scene. You don't play as him in this scene, but you'll see him in the scene.
And don't suppose I'll make a plea, 'cause baby, you know I'm guilty.
I accidentally went to 1 hour 25 minutes and 27 seconds and there was guy that looked exactly like Elon Musk.
I didn't ask you to meet him in an alleyway.
Why do you snarl at me? Your friend came to ask me to accept the insurance.
He's not my friend, Elsa.
I think he's a brave man, and you have placed him in great danger. You've involved him in something, and he has no idea of the risk. Can you live with that, Cole?
Elsa, I need his help, and he hates my guts.
Forget the past, Cole. He deserves a chance to say no. If he helps you, let it be on his terms.
I'll go see him in the morning.
So it is kind of a shame that this game will probably never ever see a sequel. mainly because of the tech that they use to make the game faces and all that kind of stuff no longer exists. This is kind of one of those rare gems in gaming, which unfortunately we'll probably never ever see a sequel. The other thing is, too, and I believe other people have mentioned it before, and I've, of course, mentioned it, is when this game initially released back in 2011, it didn't make back all the money it spent on the game. It was expected to be like a big hot seller, and it just wasn't. Because everybody associated it with because Rockstar was a producer, everybody associated it with Grand Theft Auto. So people were buying it, expecting to be able to just run around in the 1940s and shoot everyone and steal cars and fuck prostitutes or whatever, and it wasn't that. So it didn't do well at all, and it didn't make back half of the money that it even put into the game.
You lose something, Mac?
I thought these private eye types were all wise guys with smart mouths.
Looks like the snappy repartee has all dried up.
Get on with it.
What's your hurry, Mac? You got some place to go?
You ever do the cat and mouse routine without a gun in your hand?
Now that's more like it.
Let's put a few gaps in that smile.
Time for you to lose some teeth. Don't worry, buddy. I'll lay
Three
you out
meatheads
quick.
with nary a brain.
I'm about to break your goddamn jaw. You're a worn, tough guy. You should learn to take a hint. Get him downstairs and into the trunk. Sure, he turned up all right. He's wishing he didn't. He's in the trunk. He's going nowhere. The boys introduced themselves. What do you want done with him, Mr. Monroe? Yeah, I know a good place. We'll pick up a shovel and a pick on the way. It's up in the hills behind Griffith Park. We'll deal with that German bitch next.
Sorry, pal. Desperate times. Monroe owns the city. Owns the cops. I need to find Elsa. I ain't got time for this! Can't you see what's happening? What's your problem?
Where are they? Is that the last of them? Must be his blind spot.
So you're still carrying that Army 45, Cole?
For God's sake, Cole! Call an ambulance!
Alrighty, and that's where we're going to end it for today. So we did 3 cases today. In Arson, we did The Gas Man, A Walk in Elysian Fields, and House of Sticks. So tomorrow we'll be finally ending the game with the last 3 cases, A Polite Invitation, Nicholson Electroplating, and A Different Kind of War. So thank you to everybody who tuned in today. It's always greatly appreciated. If you like what you see, please consider liking and subscribing. I cover PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, PC, and VR games. If any of that interests you, please consider liking and subscribing. So I'd like to thank everybody who tuned in today. I'd like to thank Dana Leone. I'd like to thank Curiace and Melon Slayer. So thank you very much, everybody who tuned in today and watched the stream. It's always greatly appreciated. Again, if you like what you see, please consider liking and subscribing. If you missed any of the previous live streams of LA Noire, simply go over to my YouTube channel check out the playlist section. You'll find all of the previous live streams of LA Noire in there under the section LA Noire. You'll also find a joint collaboration section. This is a section of videos from other YouTubers who I've worked with. So you can find their videos in the section labeled joint collaboration section in the playlist section. If you like anything in those videos, please consider liking and subscribing to those YouTubers as well. Anyway, that's it for me for now. I'll be back later on this evening for part 2 of The Last of Us Remastered. So we're going to be doing the PS4 version of The Last of Us Remastered. We're going to be playing it on the PlayStation 5. And we'll continue from where we left off on that stream yesterday. And once again tomorrow, we'll continue off and finish off LA Noire with the last 3 cases. And we'll go on to something else after that. So thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. I will see you soon. You have a wonderful evening. I'll see you soon at the Gamers Grotto. Thanks once again and have a wonderful day.